I'm not French, so I enlisted the help of Google Translate.
Café des Délices.
That is how we say that. Hey girls, welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Casey and I'm a lover of all things fragrance, hygiene, beauty. So if that sounds like something you love, definitely make sure to subscribe. So on today's video, we are talking about the newest Maison Mataha release. I'm so excited to be talking about this. First of all, huge thank you to the Maison Mataha team because they sent this to me as a gift. It was a complete surprise. This was just a gift. I'm not obligated to talk about this, but you guys know I love Maison Mataha fragrances. So of course, I'm going to be giving you guys a review. So to know me is to know, one, I love Maison Mataha fragrances. And two, I absolutely love a good gourmand, and I think that Maison Mataha does gourmands pretty well. When I saw that they were coming out with a fragrance with a coffee note in it, I was very excited. And then when I saw the rest of the notes, I got so excited because it's literally just gourmand note after gourmand note. I love that when Maison Mataha does a gourmand, they don't add a bunch of florals or like avant-garde versions of a gourmand. They give us something that literally smells edible, and that is what this fragrance is. Once again, huge thank you to Maison Mataha. I'm one of you guys' biggest fans. So this is Café des Délices. You guys can't sue me if I said it wrong because that is what Google Translate told me to say. This is what the box looks like. It's absolutely beautiful. There's your daily dose of ASMR. Slide this baby open and then bam. Look at her. Oh my god. Let's look at her differently actually. I would have cried if that fell. Oh my gosh. But fun fact, Maison Mataha fragrances are actually pretty durable. I once dropped Escapade Gourmand on the ground, on like hard ground, no carpet, and it did not break. So this is her. This is absolutely beautiful. I think they changed the bottle a little bit though. One moment. So they definitely did change the bottle just a little bit. This is Maison Mataha's first fragrance. This is Escapade Gourmand, my baby. And then this is Café des Délices. This part is a little more rounded, and I feel like the bottle's a little taller almost. Another thing to notice about the packaging being different is that the little plate is no longer on top of the bottle. It's like in the bottle, if that makes sense. This is Escapade Gourmand. As you can see, it kind of has a little lift because this is a plate that goes on top of the bottle. Then look at Café des Délices. There's no lift because it's like in there. There's like a little nook for that to be in. I don't know. I personally love the packaging. I think it's really cute. I don't know if that's the packaging for Prétempes Blanc and Pêche Velours. So this is available on Luckyscent.com. You can buy the full-size bottle or they have samples. This retails for $215 US, which is the same prices as the other Maison Mataha fragrances. The notes of Café des Délices include cafe creme, biscuit, vanilla, tonka bean, and musk. Now before I get into what it smells like, let me tell you what my initial expectations were going to be. I was personally expecting Café des Délices to be super coffee forward, almost somewhat adjacent to Amor Cafe by Mancera, but that's absolutely not what it smells like. But I'm actually really enjoying it. Now within the opening, the very first note I'm personally getting is the biscuit note. I'm also getting a lot of that vanilla, and then you get the cafe cream, and it is such a beautiful decadent concoction. It's not as coffee forward as I was originally anticipating. It doesn't smell like a straight up cup of coffee. It's a very subtle, smooth, soft coffee note. It's definitely detectable, but I wouldn't say that it's necessarily the star of the show. I love the way this smells. I think the biscuit note is really beautiful. The first thing I thought of when I smelled this fragrance was a Biscoff cookie, and the overall smell of this fragrance is almost like you're eating Biscoff cookies inside a coffee house. So you have that sweet aroma of coffee in the background, but you're really getting that beautiful vanilla and biscuit. I think the thing that took me by surprise the most with this fragrance is how soft it is. Now don't get me wrong, she definitely has longevity and creates a beautiful scent bubble, but it's a very smooth, soft fragrance. Now of course, anything with coffee in it, I'm expecting it to have a really strong opening, but it's very soft, airy, and gourmand. And I really enjoy it because you can get each and every one of the notes. It's not a super complicated gourmand. It's not a fragrance that takes you on an entire journey of notes. It's soft, it's simple, and it's delicious. Now would I personally spend my money on this fragrance? Absolutely. In fact, I was planning to before Maison Mataha reached out and sent it to me. For me, the star of the show is really that biscuit note. It smells like a Biscoff cookie. It almost gives like cookie butter, vanilla, and like a hint of coffee. I feel like if you're afraid of coffee fragrances, you don't have to be afraid of this fragrance. It doesn't smell like straight up coffee. It doesn't smell like bitter coffee beans. It doesn't smell like a straight up cup of coffee. Technically, Café des Délices translates in English to Cafe of Delights, which is exactly the vibe of this fragrance. Imagine sitting in a coffee house while eating the most delicious cookies. It's a decadent, delicious gourmand fragrance, and this definitely has a beautiful longevity to it. I sprayed this at 7 a.m. and I could smell it past 12 o'clock. It definitely lingers on the clothing as well. I love that you can smell the vanilla, and it's sweet and it's aromatic, but it's not necessarily the star of the show. That biscuit note for me is truly doing its thing. It's such a delicious biscuit note, and when you hear the note biscuit, I don't want you to think Pillsbury Doughboy Boy biscuits. I'm thinking Biscoff cookies. It's just a really beautiful fragrance in my opinion. I feel like there's no notes for me. I feel like this is a good gourmand for those of you who like smelling gourmand but don't want to smell super heavy and dense. When comparing Café de Délices to her older sister Escapade Gourmand, this is 1000% stronger. I feel like this is a stronger, more potent gourmand. If you've never smelled Escapade Gourmand, it literally smells like a creme brulee. Like literally like that sugar coating on the top. This is what this fragrance smells like. This is a lot lighter, softer, and airier. I could spray one spray of Escapade Gourmand and be set for the rest of my life. I feel like I would need a couple more sprays of Café de Délices, but this is 1000% a beautiful fragrance. I feel like I don't have anything in my collection that smells like this. My initial thought when I saw the word cafe was that it was going to give Amore Cafe, but it does not whatsoever. I would 1000% be able to tell the difference. Amore Cafe by Mancera is straight up milky coffee, vanilla, and like caramel. This is very light, airy cookies, vanilla, and a little bit of coffee. This is a creamy, decadent, delicious fragrance. It's not a super lactonic fragrance either, so I don't think it's gonna smell like ice cream or anything. It's creamy, just a little whisper of lactonic. I personally think Café de Délices was a job well done. It wasn't what I was originally expecting, but if it was what I was originally expecting, it would have been a little bit redundant within my collection. I have several coffee forward fragrances in my collection, and this is not one of them, thankfully. I will definitely be wearing this. I think this is a perfect fall gourmand, especially for those of you who don't want something that's super potent. Now, just because she's not super potent doesn't mean she doesn't last, because baby, yes, she does. It's just not potent to the point that it's going to be choking you or whoever smells it. I love how gourmand and light this fragrance is. I feel like one of the biggest complaints about gourmand fragrances is that they're too heavy, they're too dense, it's too much. This is a fragrance that's going to give you light, sweet, delicious, and decadent without being too much. I'm very, very happy to have this in my collection. In terms of comparison, this smells like nothing Maison Mataha has ever released. Escapade Gourmand is a beast creme brulee fragrance. We have Brownie Pop, which is obviously smelling like brownies and popcorn. We have Evasion Bonbon, which smells like strawberry candy. There's Pêche Velours and Pretemps Blanc. Café de Délices is not redundant within their collection whatsoever. And again, I'm looking over at my collection and I can't see any fragrance that smells the way this does. Think of any coffee forward fragrance and the answer is no, it does not smell like Café de Délices. I honestly can't give you another fragrance that this smells like. She is extremely unique and beautiful and delicious. If you have purchased this, please let me know what you think, because baby, you know I always want to know. Let me know what you want to see next. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time.